evening and salutations, folks, and thanks for tuning in. My name is Jamie Barr.
And I'm your co-host, Mad Whitaker.
And wow, we've got a great show for you tonight. Ned, you fabulous feminista, why don't you tell the folks at home the topic of our show today?
I don't know. I think you should really tell them, Jamie. I know how stoked you are to talk about this topic.
No, it's fine. You tell them.
Okay, tonight's show. Oh, you say it.
No. I insist. You say it.
All right, whatever. It's all gravy to me.
Tonight's show. Okay, you introduce the theme of tonight's show, and I'll just introduce our guests.
Sounds like a plan. So tonight's theme is communicating boundaries for healthy relationships.
We'll be joined by Meg Green, the co-facilitator and managing director for the Changing Lives Youth Theater Ensemble, a partnership between Safe Alliance and Creative Action, which trains youth activists as peer educators while addressing social issues through theater that opens dialogues up about teen relationships and encourages youth to take a stand against dating violence, sexual harassment, and bullying.
Awesome. We're also joined by mixed martial artist and Austin's self-defense educator extraordinaire, Katie Villarreal.
Oh, and we have a sketch by the comically wry Jackie Wellborn. And a grand performance by Houston's own Gulf Coast soul band, The Suffers. And after that, we'll get some thoughts and tips from lead singer Cam Franklin on how she handles communicating healthily with her 10-piece band. That's a lot.
Don't forget about the GRA Rock-A-Rama game show. We've got a rousing game of Name That Song Emoji Edition with our cool contestants, Celeste Fahnert, Holland Morgan, and Aaron Walter. They're all competing for a chance to win a Girls Rock Austin gift voucher good for any 2021 program. A lovely beauty basket courtesy of Pin Curl Perfection, and a graphic novel grab bag from Ringo Award nominated Halloween Man Comics.
The GRA Rock-A-Rama is a monthly live stream event to help raise funds for scholarships for Girls Rock Austin's 2021 virtual programs and GRA's Operation Lunchbox initiative, which has provided over 3,000 prepared nutritious meals for Austin artists, musicians, and their families affected by COVID-19. Check out the link below and see how you can help out or maybe get the help that you need.
I'm so excited to announce their return from the GRA summer virtual camp sessions, fresh from their nap, introducing that lovable grumpy pants, Klutzy! Hey, Klutzy, what's on the horizon in those visions of yours?
Well, hey, everybody. Hi, Jamie. Hi, Mad. Hi, everyone that's watching. Yes, I'm just waking up from a little nap, but I'm excited to tell you about some really cool upcoming events with GRA. Yay. So, first things first, I want to mention the GRA Rock Retreat 48-hour songwriting challenge. It's a new virtual rock retreat for adults 18 and up. The dates, February 27th and 28th. This weekend-long virtual program combines GRA's award-winning special blend of music, self-care workshops, instrument instruction, social justice caucuses, and a little happy hour karaoke each day. All for the goal of inspiring new folks to collaborate and create an original song based on our first theme for 2021. Practice makes progress. GRA is enlisting the help of students from Austin School of Film to make music videos for the original song written during the rock retreats to be premiered at our very own drive-in screening. Very cool. You can register at our website, which is listed below. Next, I wanted to mention the GRA After School program. The GRA After School sessions are for ages 8 and 17, and they will include weekly live instrument instructions, collaborative workshops on Thursdays, and a live stream showcase at the end of the session. As always, GRA will still provide musical instruments and necessary gear for any Austin area campers that need them. This will be every Thursday, starting March 25th. Registration opens February 1st, just a few days away. You can register at the link below. Thanks so much for tuning in to Klutzy Vision. I'll be back soon to tell you about some more cool things that GRA is coming up with for the year. Talk to you soon, Jamie. See you later, Mad. Bye, friends.
Hailing from Ohio, the heart of it all, Meg Green pursued her early career as an actor. She quickly shifted directions when she fell passionately in love with community-engaged theater work. Now, you can find her in classrooms and rehearsal halls, devising new work with young people, playing ruckus theater games, and raising awareness about how vital it is to have loving, consensual, and vulnerable relationships. As an applied theater artist, she has worked with school-based programs on grief and healing in communities, juvenile detention centers, and with military youth experiencing deployment. Over the last 8 years, Meg has used theater to address issues of sexual assault, dating violence, healthy relationship education, and suicide prevention. Meg currently works as the educational theater manager at Safe Alliance, where she uses arts to prevent dating and sexual violence. She believes deeply in the power of youth voice to shake up systems and change the world. Please welcome Meg Green. Thank you so much for being here, Meg.
Hi, thanks for having me.
To get right into it, what are some healthy communication techniques that you believe in? And, how would you start an open dialogue regarding a sensitive subject?
Communication is vital in relationships because no one's a mind reader, right? It can be really awkward to have to own our boundaries or own what we need in a relationship, but it's really hard because your partner can't read your mind. They don't know what you need. And so I often say, you can check in with your partner and just say, hey, it really upset me when this happened. Can we talk about it? Right? Because then your partner gets to say yes or no. Yes, I can talk about that, but can we talk about it later? Or I'm not ready to talk about that right now. Or I'm happy to have that conversation. Maybe right now is not the best time. Or they can say, yeah, let's talk about it. Let's do it. And then it's okay, you're in it together. This is a good moment. And if they say no, then that gives you some information too, right? If they're like, no, we can't talk about that. Sometimes when we start talking to our partner about something that upset us, we can tend to blame them first and be like, you did this thing, right? But if we start from a place of vulnerability of this thing hurt me, or these are the emotions I'm coming to it from, it's a little bit easier for someone to hear oh, you're having a feeling around this rather than you did this thing, right? Because it can feel like an attack. I didn't mean to do that thing. I didn't know. So those are a few kind of techniques that I try to think about before having those hard conversations.
Yeah, I noticed you were using a lot of I statements when you were saying that. And I think it's nice to put the ball back in, in their court to see if everything's okay. But at the same point, still getting your point across, or at least opening up, to them. You do so many fascinating things with Safe Alliance. What do you have coming up? What are you working on currently?
So we're still doing a lot of our work virtually, which is exciting and interesting and a totally different world, because usually we're actors in the room, any artist, we thrive on being with our audiences and connecting and being in community together, right? So we've kind of transferred some of that online. One of our programs for high school students is called Where's Your Line? And our actors have like voiced a voiceover, and it's been paired with our graphic designer created some amazing comics. So instead of actors performing on Zoom, there's like a beautiful like short videos about relationships. And we do an interactive workshop around those topics. So around healthy and unhealthy relationship behaviors, boundaries, needs, recognizing like red flags in relationships, and then how can you be a supportive friend? So if someone's going through a hard time, how can you show up for them? So that program is now touring to like high schools and community spaces. So if anyone wants us to come to your school virtually over Zoom, we would love to do that.
Well, thank you so much. Please stick around while we chat with KT Villarreal up next. And now a word from our partners. Welcome back. Our next guest is KT Villarreal, aka Coach V, a martial arts instructor from Austin, Texas. They run classes for kids and teens at Traditional Martial Arts Academy, and they also teach a self-defense course at St. Edward's University. This year, Coach V is celebrating their 10th anniversary as a martial arts teacher. Wow, 10 years of teaching. When not kicking butt, Coach V also loves gardening, cooking, and playing disc golf. Wow, fun fact, KT has had a nose job. I feel like that's a lot to share, but they broke their nose during a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu competition, which is a pretty badass way to break your nose. Well, let's welcome KT Villarreal.
How does my nose look?
You look fantastic.
About the same as it was, but it's not crooked anymore.
I broke mine too, KT. Well, you look fantastic. I hope that wasn't any time recently. Yeah.
Oh no, that was a couple of years ago. But you asked for fun fact, and I was like, oh, that's kind of fun.
That is pretty fun. It's pretty tough and badass too. So, well, we're just going to jump into some of these questions we have for you. We've been talking a lot today about boundaries and healthy communications to have healthy relationships. But how do we identify and communicate our physical boundary needs?
Well, a lot of people, they hear self-defense and they think like, kicky punchy stuff. But I always emphasize with my students that the first step of self-defense is setting healthy boundaries. And it's better to have boundaries that you're sure about, that you feel confident in, that you feel comfortable with, rather than having to like go back and communicate them later. So I guess the first step is figuring out what your physical boundaries are. And it's okay to change them, by the way. You can decide something and then change your mind later. But the key, and I think Meg did a great job explaining how to communicate with other people about what your boundaries are. And boundaries are both mental and physical.
Yeah, especially with your partner. Sometimes you might be in the mood for something and sometimes you might not. But let's say someone does get into your own space and it's a heated situation. You don't want to hurt this person, but you have to defend yourself at least partially. How do you express that that need? What are some good methods?
Sure. And that's a tricky one because we have different boundaries with different people in our lives. The boundaries we have with our partners are different than our friends or our coworkers or our parents or our kids. And when it's somebody that we love, we would hope that they would like recognize when you're uncomfortable. I think body language plays a big part in communicating what you're comfortable with. So if you're noticing that your partner is like, they look uncomfortable, if you care about them, that should be communication enough, right? But sometimes people don't always realize that, they, for whatever reason, it didn't register that they were uncomfortable. So I think the first step is communicating and reiterating like, hey, like, I don't want to do that right now. Or how about we go play disc golf instead? That's one of my favorite quarantine activities, by the way, because there's plenty of space between people.
Deflecting the situation, trying to distract them towards something else is great. If it's something where you're, immediately uncomfortable and you're like, all right, let's move along now. But what happens when it's, a little bit more aggressive?
De-escalation is a very valuable skill, and there's so many facets to it. You have to be kind of judging in the moment of, is this person thinking rationally? You can kind of gauge if you start asking them questions. That's a good way to get a sense of where someone's at. If they're really agitated, they're not going to be thinking rationally. They're going to be in that fight or flight mode where they're thinking in terms of survival or getting what they want, or aggression, rather than thinking with the logical parts of their brain. So asking questions can help kind of bring somebody back down and a little more reflective into what's going on in the situation. A good way to help kind of calm somebody down is to validate their feelings, which is kind of a weird thing to think about because sometimes we see that as giving in. But you can validate somebody's anger and say, look, I see that you're angry and that you're upset, but you can say that without you taking on the responsibility for their feelings. So there's the verbal aspect of it. I think body language is an important part of de-escalating a conflict. If somebody, I had this happen a few years ago where I was dancing. I was at this really great show, man, back when we could go to shows, and someday we'll be back. I was enjoying myself, and some drunk guy, drunk people aren't thinking logically either. He comes through the crowd and he's like hitting on everybody as he walks by, and he comes up to me and like tries to kiss me. And my body language immediately was, whoa, right? This is the first thing we teach in self-defense class. It's like, this is communicating a boundary, right? These hands up, creating a physical barrier between me and the other person. It's also not immediately threatening, but it's very easy to go from this to this, right? Now you look ready to punch somebody in the face. And in that situation, it was really kind of magic how it worked. As soon as I did this, the guy was like, well, what's your problem? There was a few more expletives than that, but he left, and I didn't have to, resort to the physical part. I try to avoid it at all costs. Hands up. This is the point where we're kind of judging, like, is this going to escalate or not? And then past that point, we start getting into the physical part, right? How can I neutralize this threat with as little damage to me as possible? And depending on who that person is, if I can control their body without injuring them, that's great. If there is an imminent threat to my well-being, then we might look at causing more injury than just control. So you want to use the minimum effective dose if we're going to borrow some terms from medicine, right? We don't want to get ourselves into a legal situation if we can avoid it.
Yeah, exactly. That's when things get messy. We talk a lot about helping ourselves in a situation where we are, the one who's being aggressed upon, I'll say. But what happens when we just lose it, when we're like, oh man, I am going insane here because I'm not being respected, but maybe I'm losing my temper too much. Maybe I'm shouting and yelling. How are some ways to kind of know when you're, when you need to dial it back down? How do you get yourself to that point? I know, Katie, you always seem so laid back.
Well, I think my secret to staying calm is I get to go to the martial arts gym every day and hit the heavy bags. So I have my outlet. I love any sort of physical activity. I think is very important to help keep us feeling even keeled in these times of so much stress and feeling cooped up. If you can just find some way to move your body, especially if you can find a way to make it fun. So find an activity that you love, find something that makes you happy. And so when you encounter these situations where you're frustrated, maybe there's a little bit of calm that you can touch back in with.
Nice. What do you say, Meg? What's your go-to strategy for, we're passionate people here.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we just take it down a few notches?
I talk about it like a balloon, right? Like sometimes it's like when we're really frustrated or really angry or really like you were talking about that idea of like, I'm about to burst, like I'm so mad. Often it's like not necessarily about what's happening right now. It might be about something that happened a couple hours ago or yesterday, or that thing you didn't talk about 2 weeks ago, or that thing that happened 6 months ago that you're still actually really angry about. If we don't have conversations to express our needs, right, and communicate our boundaries and identify how we're feeling and take a minute to check in with ourselves, that balloon's going to keep going until we get to that place where we're so angry we're going to burst. So part of that is like recognizing our needs and kind of whenever that's coming up, addressing it before that moment, which is like a preventative strategy, right? And then whatever the thing is that you know you need to like regulate and to be like a calm person and like just let it go, do that and then come back to the conversation, right? And then in the future, thinking about like, okay, maybe I need to like tell people when they've crossed a boundary or like I'm not getting my needs met, so that I don't become this like the balloon doesn't inflate to the point where I'm feeling so full that I'm going to snap on someone or I'm not going to be able to have this conversation in a way that's like helpful or productive.
Right. If we don't have that communication to kind of openly express our needs, our boundaries, it's not really taking care of ourselves in any shape, way, or form. So on that note, I'd like to thank you both. Meg Green, thank you so much for being here. KTV of Villarreal, thank you so much. Please find their programs, both Meg at Safe Alliance and KT Villarreal over at the Traditional Martial Arts Academy, as well as, hey, if you're going to St. Edward's, you better look up Coach V. Well, probably under KT Villarreal, but
KINE 1119.
well, thank you all so much. We'll be back after a word from our partners.
For our next segment, we have a lovely little sketch brought to you by Jackie Wellborn. Jackie is a Santa Fe-based Kenyan-American, cowboy boot-wearing, sometimes comedian who has studied, performed, and taught improv comedy in Houston, Texas, and Washington, D.C. Please welcome Shuffle Talk by Jackie Wellborn.
Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be diving deep into the clawhammer style of banjo. Hey there, welcome home. Whoa, aren't you forgetting something? Oh, come on, this is not going to do any harm. No harm? I don't know where your boots have been. On the job, walking. What are you trying to say? That your rules are ridiculous, and I'm tired, and I just want to sleep. Look, it'll take just a second for you to take your boots off so that I don't have to vacuum. But no, you'll be vacuuming and mopping all over the place anyway. Because someone can't eat or cook without making a mess. What are you trying to say? I believe I said it. You know what? I'm invoking Shuffle Talk. Shuffle Talk. Eight. Something you can relate to me on. Cool hair. Yeah, thanks. Queen. A quality of mine that makes me a good leader. Your crown. Funny. Yeah, I thought so. 3, something we agree on. hate the cold. Yep. Yep. Something about me that you can relate to. Cool hair. You can't use my answer. Just did. There's no rules against it. How did that get in there? I don't know. What do we do? There's no rules for a blank card. I don't know. I actually really admire how neat and clean you keep the place. It's really nice to come home to. Thanks. And you're always cooking, no matter how long of a day you've had. And yeah, so it gets a little messy. I mean, I'm having a 5-star meal every day. Oh yeah. Thanks. Yeah. Hey, just wanted to say that I love you, buddy. Yeah, I love you too, pal. So like I was saying, before this dust got in my eye, we're gonna work on the claw hammer stat. I guess it's dust in my throat too. God, I should vacuum. Yeah.
Okay, y'all, welcome back to the GRA Rock-A-Rama. Welcome to our game show segment. I'm so excited about this episode's prizes. I'm going to go ahead and start off by listing those for you. Our third prize is going to be the Ringo Award nominated Halloween Man Comics, a graphic novel grab bag. Very cool. Our second prize is going to be a cool beauty basket full of Aveda products and fun stuff like switchblade comb, mini liquor bottles, and a vintage paper doll book. Cute! All of which is courtesy of Pin Curl Perfection. Our grand prize now is a GRA gift voucher good for any 2021 program, which is a $475 value.
Amazing.
We have some
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Yeah, so cool. I'm so excited about giving that one away to one of you 3 lucky contestants. Let me go ahead and introduce our contestants. Our first contestant is Celeste Fahnert, a 43-year-old mom of 4 amazing daughters who works in home building and has a bachelor's degree in theater. Fun fact, when Celeste lived in Las Vegas, she got to be an extra in a few cool things like Entourage and Ocean's 13. She also got to chat with Al Pacino and Bernie Mac all day long. She used to be a production assistant for ABC Sports and ESPN, working on the Indy Racing League for a whole season. Welcome, Celeste Fahnert, everybody. Our next contestant is Erin Walter. She leads the garage rock band Parker Woodland, whose debut single and video, The World's on Fire and We Still Fall in Love, is out now. EP out February 5th. All the details on parkerwoodland.com. Erin is also a longtime bassist for the queer punk band Butch County and past president of the Girls Rock Austin board. All right, Aaron. Okay, last but not least, we have Holland Morgan, who is a parent of GRA Rockers, a hairstylist, salon educator, and YouTube creator. Fun fact, Holland piloted a small aircraft at the age of 12. Welcome, Holland Morgan. Okay. All right. Now, the game. I will explain the rules once more, and we're going to get to playing. So, there's 3 rounds. Round 1 has 3 questions, 1 point each. Round 2, 3 questions, 1 point each. Round 3, 3 questions, 2 points each. Time to level up. That's your opportunity. If there's a tie, we're going to have a tiebreaker. First one that answers, gets it right, wins all right? So each of y'all, the way you're going to answer, since we're not in a live studio and we are in a Zoom, each of you are going to make your own answer sound so that I can know who's who and who's going to answer the question, right? So go ahead. Let's see. Celeste, can you give me a sample of your soundbite or what your sound is going to be?
Booey.
Baba Booey. Okay, Aaron. Okay, and Holland.
Me.
Me. Great. Baba Booey. Woo! And me. Got it. Now the nature of this game show is that the questions are going to appear as emojis with the artist, so you're not going in, all willy-nilly completely. And then whoever answers the question, makes the sound first, gets to answer that question. And we'll move on from there. Sound okay, everybody?
Sounds good.
Okay. Round 1. Okay. First question. This song is by Rihanna. Here's your emoji. Ready?
Baba Booey.
Okay, Celeste.
Umbrella.
Yeah. That was an easy one. Okay. Next question. The artist is No Doubt. Okay. And here are your emojis. Ready? Aaron.
Just a girl.
No. Okay,
no?
Celeste.
Don't speak.
That's right. It's Don't Speak.
No voice to me. Don't speak.
Don't speak. Yeah.
Left killing it.
I'll
sing it.
Beautiful.
Good job.
Okay. Next question, or last question of round 1. This song is by Janis Joplin. Ready? Here's your emoji.
Me.
Okay, Holland.
Cry baby.
Yeah. Cry baby girl. Nice. Okay. That ends. Ding, ding, ding. Round 2. Round 1. So now, round 2. Okay. This next song is by Annie Lennox / the Eurythmics. Okay. Ready? Here's your emoji.
Me.
Holland.
Sweet dreams.
Yeah.
Damn it, I
Very good.
It's too late. Candy baby?
Candy baby.
Sweet dreams are made
was a
of
beat line.
this. Amazing.
All right. Our next question. The song is by Janet Jackson. Ready? Here's your emoji. Go. Aaron.
Black cat.
That's true. That is a true thing. Very good. All right.
Great video.
Yes.
Yeah, totally. Okay, question number 3. This song is by Beyonce. Here are your emojis. Ready? Go. That is
Oh, me.
Holland.
Girls run the world.
Yes, that's right.
Wrecking ball.
That's my leg. All right. Okay. All right, now we're on round 3. Okay. This song is by Mariah Carey. Here are your emojis. Ready? Go.
Closer.
Okay.
Oh.
Aaron.
Always be my baby.
Yeah!
Part of me. I'm part of you indefinitely. Boy, don't you know you can't escape me. Ooh, darling, cause you'll always be my baby. Such a good song.
Truly.
Woo. All right. Dance break.
You got me.
Eternal banger, for real.
Yes.
Okay.
Dang it.
You're doing okay. Rooting for you, Celeste. Rooting for you.
I'm Gen X.
Even though I'm a
Help me here.
neutral party in this whole party.
I'm the oldest, I think.
No, girl, we're the same age. You got this.
I think we're all Gen X, actually.
Are we? Okay, good.
Okay. Question number 2 is by The Chicks.
Nice.
Okay.
You got me.
So here we
Bubble
go.
booing this.
Ready for you? She's already ready.
Here's your doodad. This is not a great one, but it looks like a field.
Not my field. Bubble booey.
Celeste,
Um.
I know you know it.
Oh my God! You can't do this to me.
Oh!
The fields forever. God damn it! Oh my God! The
Are we gonna
chicks are my
pass?
chicks.
3, 2,
No.
1. Aaron.
Wide open spaces?
Yeah.
That's humiliating because the chicks are my chick.
Well, that's how I felt not seeing
that
them
hurts.
for Girls Run the World. So
That hurt.
feel your
That
pain.
hurt.
All right, question number 3. Speaking of Miley, this song is by Miley Cyrus. Okay, here we go. Emojis are happening now.
Me.
Holland got it. What is
Party
it?
in the USA.
Party in the USA. Okay, wow. Getting hot. It
don't
looks
like
like
losing.
we have a winner. Oh, come on, camera, focus.
think
There
Holland
you
got
go.
it.
It sounds like we have a winner. We don't need a tiebreaker.
Ah, Holland, you
What?
suck.
It is Holland. Holland is our winner. You get a GRA gift voucher good for any 2021 program.
rock.
$475 value.
That's awesome.
I thought I was gonna lose.
Amazing.
Our second place comes in Aaron, who's getting our cool beauty basket full of Aveda products and fun stuff like a switchblade comb, mini liquor bottles, vintage paper doll book, all courtesy of Pin Curl Perfection. And Celeste, you also get a cool thing. You're gonna get a graphic novel grab bag
Halloween Man.
from Halloween Man comics.
Awesome.
Which is
I love
really
it.
fun too.
That's
No.
exciting.
Thank you so much for participating. We are so grateful. We had such a good time, and
Fun.
we had great. It was really fun.
So fun.
Yeah.
So fun.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so
Thank
much.
you too. Thank
I
you
don't
for
like
supporting
losing, Holland. It's on. It's on like Donkey Kong.
We'll have to have a rematch.
It was
Yeah,
all those,
we're gonna have a rematch.
it was all those wigs for good luck in his background. He had the best background.
Right? Like
Winner.
I don't
winner
like him, but
background.
I want to like beat him now. So this is like a whole weird feeling I have.
Aw. Well, we love you, Girls Rock Austin.
Thank you
Yes.
so much
Love
for
people, thank
joining
you.
us.
We
and supporting
love
We love
Girls
you.
Rock Austin.
We're not sorry. We rock.
And now, GRA Rock-A-Rama presents Make Some Room by the Suffers.
Come on, let me love you a little and help me understand. Just tell me about your loss and tell me about your gains. Cause I will be everything that you need and just one little friend. Come on, let me cook for you, baby. Come on. Just relax cause I'm cleaning too. I love you like I know you forever. I just need you to make some room. Come on, let me cook for you, baby. Come on. Just relax cause I'm cleaning too. I love you like I know you forever. I just need you to make some room, girl. Ooh, darling, oh darling, I do love you. Hey. Can't you see? Can't you see how wonderful this love could be if you was here with me? We could be something happy. We both do if you was here with me. You could show me off to everyone you know. You could trust that I'll act like a lady until you take me home. To tell me about your loss and tell me about your gains. Cause I will be everything that you need and just one little friend. Come on, let me cook for you, baby. Come on. Just relax cause I'm cleaning too. I love you like I know you forever. I just need you to make some room. Come on, let me cook for you, baby. Come on. Just relax cause I'm cleaning too. I love you like I know you forever. I just need you to make some room. Ooh, darling, oh darling, I do love you. Can't you see? Can't you see how wonderful this love could be if it was here with me? We could be something happy. We both do if it was here with me. This could be something wonderful. We both do if it was here with me. We could be the happy things we both do if it was here with me. 'Cause I do love you. Yeah. Yes, honey, I do love you. Yeah. Do you want a sandwich? Baby, baby. Cause I'll make one for you. Ooh, baby. You want a michelada? Yeah. Cause I'll mix one for you. Ooh, baby. Do you want some love, baby? Oh, love, baby. Cause I can do that for you. Oh, I do love you. Ooh, baby. Yes, honey, oh, I do love you. Yeah. Yes, honey, oh, I do love
Cam. Okay, how how have you, as a band leader, and also like as a band leader me and as a band leader you, like how have you been coordinating like practices, have morale, songwriting, you know, or like our theme of the show is healthy communication via boundaries and our relationships. And I know that, you know, your bandmates, you have relationships with your bandmates. So like, how are you doing that?
Yeah, my band is, you know, it's a relationship just like any other relationship in my life, romantic, parents, friends, close family, whatever. But it's a different relationship. You know, we have not only been pursuing this dream together the last few years, we have gone through so many wins and failures together, that sometimes, you know, it's giving up would have been so easy a long time ago. And through the pandemic, while it would have been so easy to just be like, all right, y'all, thank y'all for the memories during the pandemic, and no one would have judged us. It was like, look, keep going. Like, what are we doing? We have this amazing opportunity to pursue something that we haven't seen anyone do in our own way, and go, you know, the long way. And it's been exhausting. It has been you know, practice, arguments, lots of communication, lots of repeating, and lots of trust, you know, and apologies and figuring out how to do a better job. You know, they don't tell us when we first get started in this music stuff that it's a business.
What are some statements that you use to kind of open up or like lead into addressing issues that need to be addressed in your band? Like if there is, whether it's positive or an opportunity for growth.
Yeah, no, definitely. I understand. It goes back to that making communication an everyday practice. You know, I assume that if you join a band, you're, you know, playing with people you like, your friends, and if they're your friends, you should be able to talk to your friends. And in the type of career that comes with being in a band, especially a touring band, they become your family more than your friends, and a different type of family. And if you can't talk to them the way that you need to protect yourself, to be who you really are on stage in the same way that you would want them to be who they really are, you have to give yourself the gift of standing up for yourself, especially when something doesn't feel right. There was, you know, when we first started touring, before Juliet was in the band, you know, there were so many instances where race relations were not understood at first. You know, when Eric Garner was murdered, and Tamir Rice was murdered, I remember, you know, trying to initially, sorry, my computer's about to die. I remember trying to initially have these conversations, and not that it was falling on deaf ears. It was almost like, yeah, but that happens all the time, you know, like that kind of energy, and not necessarily from my bandmates, but just in society as a whole. And it was having a serious impact on me, being on the road touring and going to markets, especially that wouldn't really have that many Black people, wouldn't really be filled with people that felt as unsafe as I did. And it took me honestly going through a few breakdowns and really understanding how I felt about it all to be able to talk about it all. Because it's one thing to talk to one member of your band, but I had nine men that were not Black that I had to explain this to, and explain why, you know, like all lives matter would never be allowed around me, or like explaining the importance of Black Lives Matter. Explaining the importance of supporting organizations like ISIS, and, you know, doing the work to really do a better job to make sure, like, we're not misgendering Juliet or anybody else in our lives that are openly trans, as we continue to learn and navigate this new space for ourselves. Because we are a reflection of so many artists that wish that they could be themselves and wish that they could be out here doing this. And in my mind, it should be easy for artists to come out here and just do their thing. You would think that's what art's about. But the world we live in makes things so difficult sometimes. But I have learned, and from what I've read and seen in history, that I'd rather be on this side of it, so it's a daily practice. And if they really love you, as far as your bandmates are concerned, when it comes to listening to you, they will listen, and it won't be on some oppressive, like, that's dumb kind of stuff. I've been in bands with people that have told me my ideas or my opinions or my views on society and race are stupid. We're no longer in bands together. But it's something that we all have to go through as we grow into the spaces and music situations that we are supposed to be in.
Cam, thank you so much. Thank you for your time, your mind, your heart, sharing. Just your presence is,
of course,
a present.
Well, that's all, folks. Special thanks to Meg Green, KT Villarreal, Jackie Wellborn, Cam Franklin, and the Suffers.
Plus shout outs and high fives to our awesome supporters, Claire McDaniel, Kathy McCaston, Russell and Christina Taylor, and Brianne McKenzie.
We'd also like to thank our partners, the City of Austin Cultural Arts Division of Economic Development, Google, Guitar Center, Stanberry Realtors, Share T Realtor, Halloween Man Comics, and Pink Curl Perfection.
Congratulations again to our contestants, Celeste Fahnert, Aaron Walter, and our grand prize winner, Holland Morgan.
Tune in February 12th for a very special Lunar New Year episode of the GRA Rock-A-Rama with guest host Natalie Fan and with musical guest Betty Sue. Thank you.
Thank you again, Austin.
Good night.
Good night.
It won't work because we can't do it at the same time. We can just do like, thanks, bye.
Thanks, Austin. Good night.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Girls rock, girls rock-a-rama.